This is part one of many. Kind of late to start recording, but this is where I'm at so far. This car didn't really have much of a front bumper anyways. That's why I'm at this current stage. You can see I have a brand new 7.5 replica one. But yeah, so far where I'm at is bumper removed. That's the OEM crash bar, not cut at all. Treadstone TR8 core with just some aluminum flat bar bended a couple times in a vise. No heat, no nothing, just flat bar and a hammer and a drill and some bolts. You can see tapped into where the crash bar bolts into the chassis of the car. But yeah, I had this core sitting on my Mark 5 GTI that's in pieces right now and figured, fuck it, we take on a project. I already made the downpipe for this car. Hold on. Yeah, as I stated in the last clip, didn't really get to. Here's the downpipe. Blew out a couple times. Ignore that weld right there, but I mean, yeah, I made that 3-inch. It's gonna get remade when I go bigger turbo to 4-inch, so not a big deal. Yeah, here's with the bumper on. Yeah, it looks freaking amazing. Dead center. At least to me it is. Nice and squared up too. Not too low. I mean, amazing fitment. But yeah, this is where I'm at so far. Probably gonna leave it alone. This is gonna be the first video of many. I'll try and go over the car more and more, so it's not like many questions that can be left to be asked. But again, feel free to comment anything. This is a new platform to me. I've owned this car for 3 months, but I've owned a GTI since 2018, so pretty informed on them. This car right now is just stock with, well, I say stock, but let's just say full bolt-on with MPI and flex fuel. It's tuned by Dean, aka One Stock Tuned. It also has a brushless EM Performance low pressure pump. So basically a good 500 horsepower or so fuel system on E. Full bolt-ons, like I said, 3-inch downpipe that it's gonna need to get remade. Well, not need to, but want to be remade to 4-inch when I go bigger turbo. And unfortunately right now the clutch is stock. It's the only downside. We're gonna be putting a bigger clutch in once it starts to slip, but so far on the IS-20 it hasn't given yet, so that's where we're at for now. Yeah, this is only the first part of this video. All I have is the intercooler mounted, and the next video you should see me piping it in. All right, not much ahead, but again, I've failed to start recording again. Started making the piping. These start out as a full equal length on both sides. I cut this one just as a rough because I know it's gonna be more or less there. An SAI delete is on the way because, you know, this car is only going to get driven in Mexico and on the racetrack where you don't need SAI. But you see, just like I said, I cut one arm off of here, and what I'm using to cut this is just a skill saw. I believe it's a 10-inch blade. It's cheap. It was like 150 bucks for this. Yeah, 10-inch blade. And some, I'll put a link to this stuff in the description. It's just some metal cutoff blades. I think I ordered 5 of them on Amazon. I'm sure. I think I ordered 5 of them. I don't remember how much it costed, but it wasn't crazy expensive if I ordered 5 of them. Yes, and this side I already have basically made. See, I removed the factory charge pipe. See, I threw the silicone coupler on there just to hold it for mock-up. Over here is the driver's side charge pipe. I already have fitted up. It's not tacked yet. You guys are about to see my terrible aluminum skills firsthand, but yes. Please excuse the mess. I have so much stuff going on right now. It's terrible in here, but yeah, this is the driver's side. I'll throw a picture of it. Fit up. You can't really see, but you can see the dots. The black dots is like the lineup marks. I threw them on the car and traced the line from side to side, 2 of them, top and bottom. but I've basically cleaned them off with the acetone and it's prepped, ready to tack. And that's what you're gonna see next, is my terrible aluminum skills. You can see over here, factory charge pipe removed. And yeah, basically just gotta throw a coupler on there. We got a coupler there. Once it's welded on, this side will be done. And the real issue is over here. Well, not even issue, just waiting on the SAI delete, which for you guys won't be anyway. This will be probably a 10-minute video, and for me a week or two long process. But yeah, SAI has got to get deleted, so come a little bit more up and go into that pipe over there. All right, got it tacked up. There's 3 in it. Started to weld a little bit on the bottom. Got it in the pipe vise, about to weld it out. This is a great investment. Recommend you get, because this was like 50, 60 bucks. You're gonna buy a positioner that's like 250, 200 bucks, I think, at least, for the cheapest V4. Honestly, this is does the job better. Positioner, I don't even know how to use it. I've never used it before, but for a beginner, somebody who's not doing this full time like myself, just get the pipe vise for 50, 60 bucks on eBay. Just take a minute and show you guys before I weld it out. This is it, tacked up, fit up. That's a stock charge pipe that it's going into. And there's the inlet for the OEM intercooler that's no longer being used. That's it. It's that easy. Let's go weld it. And there it is, all welded out. I'm not even gonna show any more than that. It's bad enough, and that's the best of the whole thing. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever welded aluminum for anything that's gonna hold pressure, at least. And it's for myself and nobody else, so I could live with this. I'm not even gonna show the backside, it's terrible. So yeah, as you guys saw in the last clip, got welded out. Sorry, it's hard to do this one hand, but see there, like a glove. Looks like shit, the weld, but looks like it'll hold also, so. Just waiting for a bead roller to come in, so won't lose any pressure. If you know what a bead roller is, basically it makes the end of the pipe, instead of like this, because we cut it, makes it like this so that it'll actually grab inside of there, not blow off under boost. Okay, back into it again. A little late to start recording, but just took out the SAI pump because I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous video. I'm pretty sure I did, but the SAI pump is like right in the way of where I want my charge pipe to be, and also it's an off-road use, Mexico use only vehicle, so you don't need the shit. But yeah, extremely challenging to get that out. If I would have taken more stuff out, I could have gotten it out, but I realized I had to take the battery and the battery tray out and this charge pipe at least halfway out, and we were able to sneak the pump out. Pro tip, if you're going to be doing this yourself, use the skinniest T30 that you can. There's a block off plate. But yeah, use the skinniest T30 that you can, unless you want to take the car apart more than this. It's not very easy to get those bolts out. Alright, SAI delete plate is in, got the Ugga-Duggas in. And like I said, use the skinniest forks that you have. This is a great investment. I think I spent like 30 something bucks on it with this little icon set. This one right here, little icon mini ratchet, man, game changer. Tiny, the bits, and you even have a bit somewhere in there to put a 1/4 inch socket on. Yeah, you can see, freed up a little room in the engine bay, pumps out, block off plates in. Just gotta put the charge pipe and intake and battery back in. And you can see here, that real estate issue is no longer an issue. So now we just have to build that charge pipe from over there to come into the intercooler, and we'll be done. This is what ends up coming out. If I had to guess, it's probably about, I don't know, 3-4 pounds. Not as much as I expected, but she gone. All right, back to it. Just got a straight piece here I've cut. Now it's not gonna stay on, but whatever, you get it. And then this 90, another 90 that I've cut. I think should be money. Again, using the handy dandy saw. And all I'm doing is slide the piece into place, mark on the with a Sharpie on it, more or less where it needs to be cut. Make the cut, bring it back over here, and it's like Legos. I think if you're able to weld it, you're able to do this. At least I am, sort of. So yeah, next clip you'll see is me welding this side out. Way more real estate in here with no SAI pump or hoses, I'll tell you that much. Here we are, second side's now tacked up. Second side, I should say driver's side. Should have been the first side, but no biggie. So you can see, fits good enough for me. Looks even enough for me. Now we go weld it out. Next thing you'll see is the finished product. Here we are with the finished product. I'm super happy with how it came out. Don't shit on the welds. This is the first aluminum thing I've ever made, but we'll see how good it holds up when I actually do my first pull in this thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm super happy with how it came out. It's not fully tightened up yet. Waiting on a bead roller to come in. As you can see, that's not gonna hold too well. But I'll make a video finalizing everything. Once everything's tightened up, I put the bumper on, and you'll get to see how it actually ends up. Not the first person to do this, but I thought it would be cool to make a video. Last clip of this video. Thought it would be good to show 100% how it ended up. I got to drive around with it for 2 or 3 days. It still drives amazing. Just got a little small coolant leak. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. Just a little hole in the hose. Gotta replace the hose, no biggie. But yeah, the car is now MPI, low pressure pump, brushless, intercooler downpipe. And man, the intercooler is amazing. I think the hottest IATs I saw was like 115, 120. That was after a handful of pulls on a hot day. It's like 95, almost 100 degrees some days in Florida. So, I mean, 15, 20 degrees above ambient in a hot day I'll take it. I'm sure just about every intercooler does the same of this size. So, but yeah, that's how I'll end it. 10 out of 10 for me. I want to try and upload a bunch more videos on this thing. If you don't see me upload, please comment and hound me to do so.